Hi, guess who's back? I know, you're angry. I said I was gonna post a video and you actually believed me. LMAO. I went traveling and when I got back life happened. So now I'm catching up. You forgive me? How kind of you. Now let's have tea time. On today's menu are industry-wide observations and home truths that might offend people. And when I say people, I mean those lost souls in society who like to get annoyed by facts. But the majority of my subscribers are open-minded and objective free thinkers, so this shouldn't be too harsh. And if it is, do me a favor and unsubscribe, because I'll say it again, facts don't care about your feelings, and neither do we. Okay waiter, first tea please. Pretty much everybody in Korean entertainment has had some type of cosmetic enhancement. I'm so tired of all these channels arguing about who is natural, who is not, who had surgery, and who didn't. It's a waste of time. It's the entertainment industry and everyone has to look beyond their best at all times. I think it's safe to assume that everybody has had some kind of cosmetic procedure done to them, especially in a country like South Korea that has such rigid standards of beauty. Cosmetic enhancements are not always surgery. There are plenty of non-invasive cosmetic procedures that mean that idols don't have to go under the knife. It's cheaper, and there's little to no recovery time. A couple injections and some good makeup will easily transform anybody, and just for the record, getting braces on your teeth counts as a cosmetic enhancement. So are you really going to deny that your fave didn't even get braces to align their teeth? Bitch please, have several seats. Just sit there and eat your food, thanks. K-pop awards lack credibility. I find K-pop award shows like the Mamas laughable and only watch now for the performances. I used to really love award shows like these, but now I realize how much of a farce they are. As soon as you tell me that they're fan-voted awards, I lose respect, because at that moment, the award ceases to be about the merit of music as an art form, and rather becomes entirely about fandom versus fandom. It's literally like the Hunger Games for K-pop fandoms. I don't think anybody in the community would deny this. Not to mention all of the politics that go on behind the scenes that only takes focus further away from the music. To be honest, I would like to see more awards voted for exclusively by industry peers, like music critics, industry professionals and the idols themselves. Just like the Grammys. But they won't make decisions in favor of the music integrity, will they? Because the true tea is, they don't care about music whatsoever. All they care about are high broadcast ratings, and nothing helps to boost the numbers like a good fan war. So to all the crazy stans, may the odds be ever in your favor. Next case. They have their place, but wins on music shows are completely meaningless to me. Yes, they include some streams and sales data, but the majority of the time the groups that win first place only do so because their fandom bulldozed their way to number one. Then the fans try to see it as some universal form of social proof that the music is great, when that's not what it means at all. It just means all the stans group together to push their groups over the top. There are so many critically acclaimed songs that don't win first place on music shows and so many mediocre songs that do. All I can say is if you look at the year-end charts, you'll often see songs higher on the chart than a lot of idols who won first place on music shows. You don't even know the artist, but sweetie, they outsold your fave by 2 to 1. It just further proves my point that those wins don't really matter in the grander scheme of the music industry. The only charts that matter are the official sales charts. Winning first place on M Countdown or Music Bank doesn't actually put any extra money in the companies or idols' pockets. It's just an extra promotional tool, and that's just the tea. Thank you. Next. Here's my advice to all the crybabies who complain about Big 3 privilege. Number 1. Build a bridge. Number 2. Get over it. Nobody wants to hear your tired complaints about how unfair Big 3 privilege is. You can say it's unfair, but guess what? Life isn't fair. The trainee system is like the education system. Just like having a degree from a big and prestigious university will give you a massive advantage in the job market. Debuting from a prestigious entertainment company will give you a massive advantage in K-pop. That's just common sense. There's nothing unfair about it. The only people who don't understand this are the people who think that the music industry is still, cough cough, all about the music, which is total, utter bullshit. Yes, it's about the music, but true intellectuals know, it's also about so many other things. Branding, marketing, PR. The big companies have an advantage because, newsflash, the big companies are established and respected brands. K-pop is a rare industry where the company can be just as big a star as its talent, if not more. Go to SM Town, you can shop in the store. Go to YG, you can eat breakfast in the cafe. These companies are brands. And if your faves are underrated, it's simply because Bob and Susan and the marketing department aren't working hard enough to get people to pay attention. Thank you. Next. Oh, and just one extra thing. BTS weren't from a prominent company, but they surpassed other groups because the marketing team at Big Hit was full of ambitious marketing strategies that paid off. And it goes without saying that ARMYs were such a promotional force, it was like they were in all Big Hit's strategic marketing meetings. I'll never forget the way ARMYs promoted BTS so diligently during those years. I mean, they worked as if Big Hit was paying them a six-figure salary. But just look at all the creative marketing strategies. Look at BTS World, Armopedia, Weverse, the UNICEF Project, Bangtan TV, the fictional universe and storylines created for BTS music videos. The questionable quality of some of these projects aside, it's undeniable that Big Hit's marketing team are constantly coming up with creative ways to market and monetize BTS, so that you know who they are. Don't divert your attention and think they're more artistic than their competitors. And it worked. Claps for you. I've heard people state that K-pop in general lacks longevity, but I want to speak specifically about the songs. Let's play a little game. Try to name 5-10 K-pop songs you heard this year that you'll still be listening to 5 years from now. How about 10 years? Or 20? See my point. Many K-pop songs aren't made to stand the test of time. They're designed to deliver quick digestible entertainment that's easily disposable, like fast food. Now this isn't exclusive to K-pop, this is becoming the norm globally, but I always found it strange how the K-pop industry favored singles, EPs and mini albums over full albums. World star Beyonce even talked about this in a documentary. Notice the shock and disappointment on her face.
People don't make albums anymore. They don't make albums. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles and they burn out and they put out a new one and they burn out and they put out a new one. People don't even listen to a body of work anymore.
What was that? Sorry. I think we need to hear that one more time.
People don't make albums anymore. They don't make albums. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles and they burn out and they put out a new one and they burn out and they put out a new one. People don't even listen to a body of work anymore.
Yes, Beyonce, it's very disappointing. Yes, this is a critique of K-pop, but we can apply it to the entire global music industry. Streaming is king and social media and instant access to endless options on demand have made our attention spans shorter than ever. Many of us don't even have the patience to sit through a full album, and the majority of the albums that we do get are more like playlists than cohesive bodies of work with a beginning, middle and end. What can I say? It's sad to live in a microwave era of fast food music. Maybe I should have been born in the 70s. Anyway, good luck remembering that 80s bop in 10 years time. Sip sip. Let's talk Soyeon and I-DLE on Queendom. People don't realize the performance itself was not stone cold proof of appropriation. The smoking gun was a conversation between the group members beforehand. That proves their intent was to appropriate. And for no deeper reason other than optics. No deeper meaning. No deeper message. Let's do it just because. This doesn't make me angry. It just makes me laugh. Their oversimplification of what constitutes ethnic literally made me laugh out loud. The first words that come to my mind are facile and myopic. I literally thought that entire conversation was a satirical comedy skit. And when she said ethnic hip, it was over. I spilled my tea all over the floor. Excuse me? Ethnic hip? What does that even mean? This is exactly what people refer to while having discussions concerning cultural appropriation. You haven't even taken 5 minutes to learn about the cultures you want to steal. I mean borrow from. You know you need to stand out for your performance. So you lazily just take a bunch of things you brand in your mind as quote, ethnic, throw it together and call it ethnic hip. The lack of discernment and critical thinking is very entertaining to me. My gosh, you're lucky that you're in Korea, because had this been a Western artist they would have been clowned, crucified and dragged up and down social media so fast. And I would have sat back laughing at the memes and commentary sipping slow. Because it's okay for a child to simplify cultures in this way, but in this PC world, adults should know better. Here's some friendly robot frog advice. If you call yourself an artist, actually be one. Actually put genuine thoughts into your performance art like AOA did. AOA didn't use the LGBT community as a proper gimmick. Their stage explored gender conventions whilst portraying a clear message of acceptance, inclusion and empowerment. It was thoughtful and intelligent. I'm not even offended by I-DLE's naivety and childishness. Just amused. You can't make this up. I'm literally laughing while typing this. What had me most of all is that they couldn't even decide which culture they wanted to appropriate from. Africa? The Middle East? Native America? Girl, just pick one. It's clear that in this moment, you didn't give a from's nine about those cultures. You just wanted an edgy look to serve and snatch wigs. That's just the tea. It was so obvious it wasn't even subtle. That's why I'm not even offended. Just laughing. And the label ethnic hip just took it over the top for me. All I can say is thanks for my daily laugh, I-DLE. You're real ones.
You're the best of this generation. No one can stop us. Look.
And on that note, I'm heading back to the pond. Ciao.